Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Raweatinghomeschoolingfamily. Family. Today I have a guest. This is Sabrina. Welcome Sabrina to my channel.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you for having me.
Sabrina is my oldest, and I want to ask just a few questions about homeschooling. How old are you?
21.
Nice. How was it? What was it like being homeschooled?
In my experience, it was something that I'm very thankful for. I'm thankful that I was homeschooled, and I feel like there's a lot of things that I learned from being homeschooled, not only the schooling aspect, but also just being home, like being able to learn how to cook and clean and just do things like that. Also, I feel like what I learned helped me. What I learned was sufficient for me to be able to function or learn properly in a college setting, and so I don't find that I have any problems or anything like that. And I think that sometimes people have the worry that kids who are homeschooled aren't social and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
But thankfully I had a great experience with that, and my mom and dad always made sure that we were part of like group activities with other kids, and we did karate for 4 years, and we would do a whole bunch of things like that. So my experience was very good.
What was it like when you basically did what? Up to high school?
Yeah, so I was homeschooled by my mom and dad through curriculums until I was in high school, and when I reached 9th grade level for high school, I did online high school through a Wisconsin school. So I had all of my courses that
Wisconsin homeschools.
yes, yeah, and so I had all of my classes online, and there were teachers for each class, so we would meet up online, and they would give us lectures and things like that, and then we would get our assignments and we would submit them. So it was pretty much like a school. It just wasn't face-to-face. However, they did do some activities where we would meet up in different cities throughout Wisconsin and do activities and things like that. Mm-hmm. But I liked that. I think that's very nice, and it also gave me the ability to do college online too. So right now I've done a lot of my college courses online, which was a lot easier for me just because I could work at the same time and things like that.
Mm-hmm. What was it like the first time you went to college and really sat down in a class in front of a professor and 20 other students the first time you did?
I was really nervous because it was the first time I was in school. I was I felt like what I learned throughout my whole school life or whatever, I felt like it was sufficient enough for me, but I wasn't sure if I wasn't sure if I was going to get to college and be like, oh, I don't understand anything. Mm-hmm. And I was nervous about that. I was also nervous about the social aspect. I wasn't sure how it would be being in a face-to-face classroom with a teacher in front of you and students around you and stuff. I mean, I feel like I'm a pretty friendly person, so I wasn't too worried about that. It was just more of and it was just the idea of sitting in a classroom. Mm-hmm. And it's just something I just never
used to.
Yeah.
But the benefit of homeschooling, also now you have your own home, you are married. Mm-hmm. What was it like leaving from home to your own home, and even knowing what to cook or to clean or how to run a home and be
I think that's something that helped me out a lot being homeschooled, was that again, being homeschooled for our family didn't only mean that we were gonna sit down on the table all the time and just do math and reading and stuff like that. It was also that we had chores, and we had to be responsible of cleaning a lot of things in our household. Mm-hmm. And so when I got my own household put together, it was a lot easier, I think, than it would have been if I was not used to cleaning and organizing and cooking and things like that. Yep. So I think that has helped me a lot, and I'm really thankful for that, because already, like, you don't, growing up and stuff, like, I always looked forward to having my own household, but I never really thought about those aspects so much. Like, I thought about, like, oh yeah, I'll cook dinner, but, like, I don't know, you just think about stuff like that, but I didn't really think about, like, how it would be to have to balance a household and working and going to school and relationships with your family that are now outside of your household, things like that. So if I had to learn how to cook and clean on top of balancing my new lifestyle, it would have been a lot harder. So I'm thankful to my mom and dad for teaching us. I mean, at the time I hated cleaning, I hated cooking and things like that, but now I'm really thankful.
And also, we'll end it with this. You graduated high school 6 months before.
Yeah, so I graduated high school a semester before my classmates, and it happened kind of quickly because I came to the realization, like, hey, I'm kind of in a position right now where I have all my credits, and I could probably graduate early if I wanted to. So I talked to my counselor, and she was like, well, I guess, like, I mean, it's fine. Yeah, you can do that. Like, she looked over my credits and things. I think I only needed, like, at that point, I only needed to, like, pass, like, half a credit of something. So I signed up for that class, and I passed it. And thankfully, I was able to graduate a semester earlier. And I felt like that kind of gave me some confidence too, as somebody who was homeschooled, because I was able to say, like, to myself, yeah, I was homeschooled, but I did accomplish this. I did graduate high school, and I even graduated a little bit early, so there was no reason for me to feel like I didn't deserve graduating just because I was homeschooled. So that, I think that was a nice accomplishment that I did.
So while you were waiting the 6 months, while the students who were with you, your classmates, had to, you had to wait for 4 months or 6 months. What did you do that time before college?
Well, when I graduated high school that semester early, soon after, I can't remember if it was in that same month or if it was like a month afterwards or something like that, that I started college right away. So there was a dental assisting program that I started, and that was my very first, like, in-school class that we were talking about earlier. And so it was like a program. So I think it lasted like a few months, and I got a certificate from that. So basically, I was able to graduate early, but in that time that I would have been in high school, I was able to go to college and get the certificate for dental assisting, which also made me feel pretty accomplished. It made me feel like I just had something to say that I did do, and it was a step, like, it was a foot in the door to college. It was kind of like a little tester. And I really enjoyed it. I loved my teacher, and at the end of it, I wrote her a card, and I told her this was actually my first time being in school, and I thank you because you made it a great experience for me. So I'm glad that I didn't have any bad situations that came from it.
So you were graduating high school with the students, and you had already your dental assistant certificate, so you had 2 certificates together at the end in the same graduation year.
Yeah, that was
really awesome.
That was exciting for me. I was thankful I was able to do that.
And also, you were honored English.
Yeah, I always liked reading and writing and things like that. And then in high school, we had the opportunity to do, instead of like English classes, we would have honors English class. And so I did that for a few years. Actually, I think I did that for 3 years, maybe, and out of the 4 years, or possibly 2 years out of the 4 years. And then I also did honors psychology, because I liked that subject a lot too. So that again made me feel good, because I was worried going into online high school that there would be expectations and I wouldn't be able to reach them just because I was homeschooled. But that wasn't the case. Thankfully, I was able to be at the same level as all of my other students and even be in honors classes. So that was nice.
That is nice. Put it there. I'm proud of you.
Thank you for always being there, like, at home, because it's a big deal on our parents too, being at home with us, and I'm sure they worry about what we're learning and if it's enough and things like that. Right. But I'm thankful for my mom and dad's decision, and I hope to also be able to homeschool my kids in the future too.
That would be nice, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for coming. Sabrina has her own channel. If you want to check her out, we will put on the description. And can you say it?
The name of the channel is His Mercy with Sabr, but we'll put the link in the description box as well.
How do you spell sabr?
SABR. So His Mercy with SABR.
Yeah. Well, thanks for coming. And if you are new to us, subscribe. If you are thinking about homeschooling, just leave a comment, and whatever we know or have experience, we would like to share it with you. If you are part of the family who are following us, give a bunch of thumbs ups and take care. Assalamu alaikum.